Hey, Mac. Today I wrote an article in the Toronto Star. I figured it's American Thanksgiving, and it's time to accept the Maple Leafs for what they are. And that is...
what are they?
Like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're a pretty good team. Everybody knows that. They've got some flaws. Everybody knows that. They've been sort of, mixed reviews on them, hot and cold. Good one night, average the next. Like a lot of teams in the NHL, if the truth was known. There's a lot of teams that are like them, the way they play. Still a pretty good team.
In your world, then they have as good as a chance as anyone to win a Stanley Cup. Then that's what you're telling me.
No, I didn't say that. I said that the way they play is like a lot of teams in the league play. I mean, look. Calgary, Edmonton, Toronto, Florida, all the Rangers, all the teams that are Tampa Bay. Tell me of all those teams, which you could say a few are contenders, Colorado, who has been really consistent? Who has been that consistent? Boston Bruins have been. I didn't list them, because they have been consistent. They have been the one or two or three consistent teams in the league. Actually, you're playing one tonight. But you know what? So yeah, they get the spotlight because they're in Toronto, but we know they have flaws. We know their blue line's not good enough right now to be a playoff contender. We still don't know if their goaltending is good enough to be a playoff contender. Both goaltenders were horrible last year. So how do you say they're a contender with that? Both of them have been spotty this year. So, there's flaws there, but lots of teams do. But the complicating thing to me, which I get a kick out of, is all of a sudden New Jersey looked like a team that could make the playoffs at 13-3. I mean, they just have to go 500 the rest of the season and they're in. And, so that complicates the situation of somebody's going to miss. Somebody's going to miss the playoffs that were a pretty good team last year. And then the Islanders probably could get in, which means there could be two teams that don't get in. And I haven't even mentioned Ottawa think they're going to get in. So, it could be a real good race yet before it's over because of these. I mean, Detroit's still a bit of a surprise. Philly's a bit of a surprise, but, they're finding their level right now, some of them.
What do you think of these teams these days, like New Jersey being one of them, where I think, they're small and skilled and fast and offensive, and it helps you win a lot of hockey games. But, we've talked about there being different seasons, playoffs versus the regular season. And, I think New Jersey reminds me of Toronto a few years ago where the construction is built to be really tough to play, but I'm not so sure tough to play in the postseason. Do you think the game will evolve to a place where you can win cups? It's that the physical element is not that important, or is it just always going to be a crucial part of hockey?
I think it's always going to be a crucial part because of what's on the line. I think in the regular season, speed, skill is terrific, but I think when it really becomes critical to win, that intensity level creates the physicalness for me. But I like what you said about how they're structured, and I mean look at this team right now. Graves, good defenseman who plays 22, 23 minutes a game for them, came from the Stanley, Colorado. Hamilton, over 20 minutes a night. The other kid, Marino, over 20 minutes a night. Severson, almost 20 minutes a night. Siegenthaler, almost 20 minutes a night. And Brendan Smith, who couldn't play in some places, is playing 15 minutes. That's a pretty good blue line right there.
Right.
That is a shutdown blue line, but it also creates. So I really like how they're structured on the back end, to be quite honest. And I love their speed and skill up front. And they haven't had Palat. They haven't had Palat, for a good majority of the season, who we know is a hell of a two-way, solid playoff performer. So, yeah, your comment about structure, I like how this team's structured. And I haven't even mentioned the 21, 22, and 23-year-old kids